Hello. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Hi. Can you hear me or not? Hello. I hope that y'all can hear me okay. Hello, can you hear me? Can? Okay. Okay, it's 7, okay? So I'm gonna start. Just nice. Okay, I removed the countdown, okay? Okay, so today, okay, we'll be doing P6 science. All right, and hello. Yes. Okay, so later there'll be a Kahoot, so remember to stay tuned for a giveaway later. Okay, so let me hide this one first. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me go through today's worksheet. Okay, TikTok worksheet. All right, so today we'll be doing still term 2 revision. Okay, because I think some of you haven't finished your WA, some of you actually completed your WA. All right, so yeah, there'll be Kahoot later. Okay, there'll be Kahoot later, don't worry. Okay, I'm not sure how it works, Maybe it's a new update or something. Okay, all right, let's start. All right, so for this, okay, we'll be doing revision. Revision basically for P6 is a mixture of different levels and topics together. All right, so because at P6, you are supposed to remember all your previous topics as well. Okay, so let us look at the first question. If you know the answer, you all can share your answers with me through the chat. Okay? Oh, hello, Karen. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, so fast, you, Jarek. Okay. So, okay. Always remember in science, you must always be very, very careful with the keywords. Okay. So this is your P4 topic. Okay. Actually, P3 topic on life cycles, depending on your school teach life cycles in P3 or P4. Okay. So for this, they say that the diagrams below shows the life cycle of 2 insects. Okay. So based on what you can observe, let's highlight the key things from the life cycles above. All right, which of the following best describes the similarity of both the young of both insects? So take note here that they are focusing so many tools, okay, of the young of both insects. Okay, focusing on the young, all right, and always remember the easiest thing. Okay, those of you who choose number 2, let me tell you the answer first. Those of you who chose number 2, you all got it correct. Okay, yes, the answer is number 2, but let me explain, okay, in case for those of you who don't know why is it number 2. Okay, so for this, when they ask for similarities, okay, and usually for life cycle, you can compare 3 things: stages, location, or resemblance. Okay, but in this case, since they are focusing on the young, all right, and you all, the first thing to take note of is always think, how many stages does this insect have? Okay, so this, you can see that both of them have a 4-stage life cycle. Okay, and organisms that has insects that have 4-stage life cycle always will have egg, larva, pupal, and adult. Okay, so when it comes to the young, okay, we can just focus. Young is only consists of larva and pupa. So we can see that both of them have a larva stage, which is over here, and a pupa stage, which is over here. Okay, so take note that 4-stage life, very good if we get correct, very good. So just remember, 4-stage life cycles will not resemble the adult. Okay, so option 1 is definitely wrong already. This is usually for 3-stage life cycle. Okay, and the young definitely, 4-stage life cycle, right? The young definitely go through either you go through the larva and the pupal stage. Okay, so they don't have more legs than their parents. Okay, this is false. All right. And they live in the same habitat as their parents. Okay, this one, right, is not shown. Okay, they said based on what you can observe. Okay, they did not show you the habitat of insect A and insect B. All right, so it's not shown, you don't go and assume. All right, okay? Yes, there will be Kahoot today. P6 math is not today, it's next week, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, okay? Yeah, it could be a housefly. Yes, that's possible. Yeah, there is Kahoot. Okay, Sarah, I'm going to move on. You're eating KFC? That sounds yummy. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Later, after the live, then I'll have my dinner. Okay, so let's move on. Any questions for this? This is a life cycle topic, very straightforward. Any idea? No questions? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so good. Okay, so let's look at question 2. Okay, yes, 4-stage life cycle, larva and pupa. Okay. Okay, so let's look at this one now. Okay, so over here, okay, so let's look at this one. So for this one, let's look at the question 2. If you all know the answer, you can send it to me. But I've seen mixed answer. I've seen 1. I've seen 2. Okay, now I've seen 1 and 2. Okay, so for this, right, let's look at the important key things here. Okay. Okay, Ken? All right, so for the okay, later I tell you the correct answer. Okay, I explain the bit, I highlight the key points first. Okay, so for question 2, you must take note of a few key things, okay, which is brightly colored fruit. Oliver cut a brightly colored fruit, okay, in half and observe that it contained many seeds as shown in the diagram below. So these are the 2 key things you need to look out for. Okay, so they are asking, based only on her observation, okay, which one of the following statements is definitely true about the flower that the fruits have developed from? Okay, definitely true. So take note, we are focusing on the flowers here. Flowers, okay? So if you're focusing on the flowers, okay, what does the seed tells you? WLU, What does the seed tells you? Where does the seeds come from? Seed, you must remember the science concept, seed developed from what? Yes, seed develops from ovules. Yes, that's the important thing you need to take note of. Okay, so seeds develop from ovules. Right? So if it has many seeds, means that it will have many ovules. So most of you are sending number 1, you got it correct. Okay? Later I explain why not number 2. Yes, why you call me? Who are you? Are you Elmira? I'm just making a good guess because your name is ELM. Oh, yes! I remember you. You were a P6 student last year. How are you doing in secondary school? When the P5 was learning reproduction, what do you mean CTKT? P5 already learned already by right. They are supposed, according to the new textbook, P5 now have new textbook. According to the new textbook, they are supposed to learn reproduction first, the first topic. You don't like secondary school? Oh, why? Okay, so, okay, everybody. All right, so let me move on first, okay? So always remember, seeds develop from ovules. So if they have many seeds, it tells us that it has many ovules. Okay, so first, number 1 is a correct answer. Okay, ovaries does not develop into seeds. All right, so ovaries are the one that develop into fruits. Okay, so that's why number 2 is not accepted. Okay, Ken? All right, and they said that, and take note, okay, this one, right, I've seen it appear in one of the school papers before. Okay, they brightly colored fruit, right, does not necessarily means that it will have brightly colored flowers. Okay, You must be very, very careful. So I remember one of the options here, the flower is bright in color. Okay, we take note, having brightly colored fruits have nothing to do with the color of the flowers. All right, both of them are not related to each other. Okay, so you all must be very, very careful. Okay, just in case that kind of question come out again in exams. All right, so for option 3, it says that the flowers produce many pollen grain. I would not know. I would not know just by looking at the fruits or the seeds. Okay, but most flowers should produce many pollen grains. Okay, this is false because it's not shown. Okay, same for pollination. Okay, those of you who choose number 4, right? Okay, everybody please take note. By having brightly colored fruits tells me that it is pollinated. Okay, it is not pollinated. It shows me that it is dispersed by animals. Most likely, it is dispersed by animals. Take note, pollination and dispersal are two different things. Don't mix them up together. Okay, so don't mix them up together, all right? So must remember, this is not shown. Okay, brightly colored fruits shows me that it most likely is dispersed by animals, and that's it. Okay, most likely dispersed by animals, all right, but it doesn't show me that's pollinated by animals. So please be very, very careful. Okay, Ken, I'm gonna move on. The class under your class, the teacher say, CT Kitty, are you sure? That's very scary. Okay, I'm gonna move on again. Okay, let me move on. Insects, you can also say is dispersed by the pollination, right? You can either write animals or insects. Both meant the same thing. Okay? Adaptation, no, not yet. Your school teach adaptation so quickly already, WL? Some schools haven't teach yet. Okay, let's look at question 3. Okay, question 3, what do you all think? Okay, so now, when it comes to this type of question, right, the moment you see to find out, okay, to find out is basically the aim of the experiment. Okay, the aim usually will tell you your changed and measured variable. Okay, so let's identify. Always remember, change variable affects measured variable. All right, but you must be very, very careful because sometimes they change the phrasing. Okay, let me just, I go according to this phrasing first. They say that Delphine wants to find out if the presence of chemical J in water would affect the growth of organism V. So, what is my change variable? Which one is my change variable? What do y'all think? Well, I've seen a lot of answer 3. Elmira, you don't like. Why you don't like? Why you don't like secondary school? Why y'all? Chemical, okay, Rolex man. Rolex man 79. Yes, chemical J is my changed variable. Very good. Okay, because change variable affects my measured variable. So my measured variable is what? Does anyone know? What's my measured variable? Some of same, your school also teach adaptation already. That's very fast. Hello, do y'all know what's my measured variable over here? Thank you, Rolex Man 79. Yes, it is the growth of organism V is my measured variable. Okay, all right, just take note that sometimes the question will change its phrasing. Okay, they change it and say Delphine wanted to find out, okay, how the growth of organism V is affected by the presence of chemical J. Okay, so you must read the question very carefully. Okay, it doesn't mean that they mention growth. Let's say they mention growth of organism V first. Doesn't mean that it is a change variable. You have to read the question carefully. Okay, so let's move on for this one. Which one of the following setups would she use as a control for her experiment? Okay, just choose a setup that has the correct change variable. Okay, so you can see that this setup has chemical J, right? And this is my change variable. Correct? So you must remember. Sorry? Oh, really? City Kitty? Oh, goodness. I hope that's not happening. Oh, thank you, Melis and YS for your answer for the measured variable. Okay, so over here, right, take note, your control usually do not have your change variable. Okay, so your control, you should choose at the setup that has everything the same, but do not have chemical J. Okay, so do not have chemical J at all. So which one did you all choose just now? So I seen some of you send 3. What about the rest of you? What do you think? Is it 3? I'm showing you the diagram now. Just the question is too big to show everything at one go. Okay, okay. 3? Okay, you put 1. Here already got chemical J. So if you want to have another setup to compare, you should not have your chemical J because chemical J is my change variable. Okay, yes, everybody, those of you put number 3, you got it correct. Okay, I quickly explain why the rest are not accepted. Okay, everybody, 1 is not accepted because there's also chemical J. Then you look here. Then this is exactly the same as this. Then I wouldn't see a difference in results. Okay, so option 1 is not accepted. Okay, option 2. Option 2, right? Although it doesn't have chemical J, but look at the number of organism V. For option 2, this is wrong because there is more than one change variable then. So option 2 not accepted. Okay? Okay, and then do you all know why option 4 is not accepted? Mei Yun, please try not to spam the chat with something that's not related to science. All right, so everybody, for option 4, what happens here is organism V, they have wrong number. Okay, it's supposed to be 3 organism V. Okay, and it's not supposed to have chemical J. Okay, so the answer is supposed to be number 3. All right, everybody, okay? Do you have any questions for question 3? Any question for question 3? No? Okay, very good. Thank you, Chin Hong. Ayoi. No. Okay, very good. Thank you, Kachai. Thank you, Jerry. Okay, so let's move on, okay? So let's move on to question 4. This is your P5 topic about your circulatory system. Okay, so let's look at this one over here, okay? P5 topic on circulatory system. Now, for this question, it says that the diagram below shows the what? Shows the direction of blood flow in some parts of our body, right? So then they mentioned that the same amount of blood was taken from QRS and T, and which chart shows the correct comparison of the amount of oxygen in the blood samples. Now, oh, you're so fast. You're sending 1 already. Y'all saw the questions, is it? From okay, so how am I going to do such questions? Okay, you must, to avoid careless mistakes, always label your vessels. Okay, how am I going to label it? Make it a good habit. Okay, for always label to or from either the lungs or the other parts of the body. Try not to use heart as your labeling because then you have 2 vessels that have the same labels. Okay, so for this, for Q, I would label it as from the lungs. S is to other parts of the body. You can see here they're sending to other parts of the body. Okay, T is from other parts of the body, and R is sending to the lungs. Okay, okay? Okay. Okay. So what happens here is if you are looking for oxygen, right? Which one do you all think should have the most amount of oxygen? Oh, Stella, you don't need to know which one vein, which one is arteries. But I but you're not wrong. For primary school level, don't need to know which one is veins or arteries. Most Q and S, one of them has the most amount of oxygen. There's only one vessel that has the most amount of oxygen. Yes, it is Q. Very good, because Q, all right, what happened is the blood just came out from the lungs, and the lungs help to replenish oxygen, right? The lungs helps to exchange gases with the surroundings. So Q has the most amount of oxygen, 2 arrows up, highest amount of oxygen. S has only 1 arrow up, high amount of oxygen. Okay, why? Because S just came out from the heart. Okay, and the heart will go through a process called respiration. It will use up some amount of oxygen for respiration. Okay, then the remaining will send to the other parts of the body. Okay, yes, the heart also uses up oxygen. Very good. So then when it comes to the other side, T would have low amount of oxygen and R will have the lowest amount of oxygen. Okay, so if you look at your graph, those of you who chose number 1, you got it correct. Okay, so the answer is number 1, but let me explain why is it number 1. Okay, so number 1, as I mentioned earlier, number 1 is asking you to compare S and R. So if you compare S and R, you can see that S has high amount of oxygen, not the highest, but still high. Okay, R has the lowest oxygen, so S must be more than R. Okay, T and S is wrong. T is not supposed to have more oxygen than S. Okay, so option 3 is wrong. Okay, option 2 is also wrong because T is not supposed to have more oxygen than Q. Okay, and option 4 is also wrong because R should have the least oxygen and Q should have the most oxygen. All right, so your answer is supposed to be number 1. Yes? I like pineapples. Why are you guessing what I like? Screw up? You mean like this? You're still copying, is it? I have to minimize it if you need to see the whole thing, because the question is quite big. Takes up almost the whole page. Do you have any questions for this? Question 4? Kitty, let's end the debate. I like pineapples. I like pineapples on pizzas. Okay. Okay, do you have any question for question 4? No, is it no more? Okay, let's move on. Okay. No, okay. Let's move on. Must have reason because I find pineapples yummy. Okay, so let's look at question 5, everybody. Okay. So let's look at question 5. Okay, question 5. Okay, Lisa wants to find out. Okay, I'm going to highlight the key thing. The moment you see to find out, everybody, what is it? To find out is what? Very good. A lot of you sending it to me. Good is the aim of the experiment, right? So she wants to find out how well the remote control switches on the television when different objects are put in front of it. Okay, now this one is the type of aim that I'm telling you about. Based on this, everybody, let me ask you, is the remote control the change variable here? Thank you, all of you. YS, Ellen, Melvis, Chan Wai. Thank you for all your answers. Is the aim. Good. Okay. How well the remote control switches on is not my change variable here. Doesn't mean that it is mentioned first in your aim. Means it's definitely the change variable. So this is a classic example that I'm explaining just now. Okay. So the word change variable, look out for the word different. Find out what is different in your experiment. So what is my change variable here, everybody? What is the changed variable here? Look out for the word different. Look out for the word different. Item in front. Okay, not wrong. It's actually the objects that are in front of the remote, right? Which is inside your aim, but it's mentioned later on instead. Not the first thing that was mentioned. Okay, so this is my change variable. CV is change variable, okay? And then how well the remote control switches on will be my measured variable. Okay, but how do I know how well the remote control switches on? Okay, I calculate, I record the distance, right? So I go down, okay? Okay, so how does this work? Is basically every one step she move back, she try and press the remote and see whether it works or not, whether the TV can detect the signal from the remote. Okay, so she put the object here and she pressed the remote right in front of the remote. Okay, so basically, how do I know how well the remote switches on? Okay, can switch the TV on. This by recording the distance. Okay, from which the remote does not work any longer. Okay, so for this, let's look at A. Very good. Yes, it's the objects. Very good, everybody. Those of you who send in objects, you got it correct. Okay, so now for A, it says that Lisa's elder brother says that she should not use the book to test as it is an unfair experiment. Okay, give a reason why he thinks so. What do y'all think? Do you have any idea? What do y'all think? Why did he say, hey, cannot use book? The experiment is not fair anymore. Why? YS, you are very close. Actually, it's not about the size. It's not about whether the book is big or small. It's about the what? It's about the what? Huh? Scroll up. You, okay, I minimize, okay? I minimize a bit, okay? Because I need to show them the part A. No, it's not about opaque or not. Aluminium, Junhong, aluminium foil is also opaque. Aluminium foil is actually opaque, okay? Aluminium foil reflects all the light. So aluminium foil also doesn't allow light to pass through at all. So it's actually not about opaque or not. It's not about the material. What do you think? Just now, YS is very, very close. Her answer is very, very close. Yes, Ethan, I saw your answer. Yes, it is actually about how thick the material is, right? Foolscap paper is thin. Plastic bag is thin. One strip of aluminium foil is thin. Tracing paper is also thin. But book is very thick. So that is the reason why it's an unfair test. Not about opaque, because aluminium foil is also opaque. Okay, Ken? All right. So slightly thicker is fine. It's actually is fine. But book is way thicker than the rest. That's why it's an unfair experiment. Okay, so the correct answer is, okay, these are considered thin, but books are made up of many pages, right? Though I never seen a book with only one page of paper. Okay, so it's considered thicker. Okay, yes, correct. Okay, thin but not as thin as one page user. Okay, so over here, why he thinks so is because the thickness, the correct answer is the thickness of the book might be different to other objects. No, this is P6 science. No, this is a bit too advanced for primary 3. But when you go P6, right, the difficulty level of that particular topic, it is still about like sort of like materials, but it will be, this is a more advanced question of materials, which will not appear in P3 definitely, but will appear from P5 onwards. Okay, so these similar type of questions. Okay, so thickness of a book might be different as compared to other objects. Okay, I don't have a son. I have 2 daughters, but not sons. If you consider my pet dog as a son, then yeah, then possible. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Does anyone has any questions for this? Most of you got the idea there. So good job, everybody. Okay, any questions? No? I'm gonna move on, all right? Okay, so for B, okay, it says that Lisa's brother, everybody, this is okay, this one, you all must take note, okay? Repeats the experiments to check the results. And for each object, he takes fewer steps than Lisa. And he takes fewer steps, right? But he's not able to use the remote control already. Suggest a reason why this happens. Any idea? What do you all think? Lisa must take more steps away, then the remote control cannot work. But her brother took fewer steps, but it cannot work anymore. What do you all think? Oh, hi, Celise. Oh, so sweet of you. I miss you too. Yeah, miss you in my class. How is secondary school, Celise? He used the book? No, user. He used the same thing. He repeats the experiment for the different objects. So what do y'all think? No, the TV is turned on. Everything is the same except he somehow took fewer steps. He took bigger steps. Yes. Pei Feng, the only possible thing is how come with lesser steps the TV cannot work anymore? So this means that, right, his steps are bigger. So just within a few steps, he's able to cover the same distance as Lisa. So that means maybe Lisa, for example, okay, Lisa took 10 steps, correct? Is this distance. But to cover this same distance, Lisa's brother actually maybe only took 7 steps, for example, to reach the same distance. Okay, so yes, very good. All right, so it's basically Lisa's brother took larger steps than Lisa. Okay, can? So so take note. I just write down the notes, okay? If he took fewer steps and is not able to use the remote anymore, which means that he's able to cover a similar distance as Lisa. Okay, which also means that Lisa's brother took larger steps than Lisa. Okay, larger steps. So you don't need so many steps to actually reach the same distance. Okay, not remote control die. Oh gosh. Okay, everyone, okay? Oh, this is a tough question. This requires a bit of critical thinking. So it's more like those out of the box kind of question. Yes. Okay, Ken? I'm gonna move on. This one have no way of memorizing. You have to think logically, like in an experiment, what are the possible things that will cause your results to be different? The one you have to think a bit logically, you have to analyze a little bit. So these kind of questions are more out of the box. Cannot memorize kind, right? Okay. All right, so let's look at C. So C, more like a riddle. Yeah, it requires a bit of critical thinking here for B. Okay, so let's look at C. So for C, suggest one change to obtain more accurate results in finding the distance before the remote control cannot work. So basically, right, you notice that this experiment got some problem, right? Why? Because if Lisa's brother does it, the number of steps would be different as Lisa. So how do I make sure? Accurate means, right, no matter who did the experiment, the results will be the same. The measured variable will be the same. Use a measuring tape, Stella. Good idea. Does anyone else? Make the steps the same size. A bit hard lah, talk. Unless her brother have the exact same size of her feet. same foot size as Lisa. Then might be possible also. Oh, use a ruler. Okay, ruler can, but not the best answer because usually distance quite far. If you use a ruler, then you use like multiple rulers. Okay, so a measuring tape will be a better answer, but ruler, not wrong also. Change the battery. Hello, if it's change the battery, then it'll be unfair test. Then one person is have a very strong powered remote, the other one doesn't. Okay, so over here, okay, arm length also not accurate enough, Jared. Some people's arms are longer than other people, so cannot also. All right, so to ensure accuracy, you use a measuring tape. Okay, measuring tape will be the best answer. To measure the distance between the television and Lisa and her brother. Or her brother. Let me put or her brother, okay? Depending on who is the one that's doing the experiment. Jerry, you want to use how many people's head to measure the distance? It's a bit scary if you're going to use heads. Okay, so take note, not only must you say use a measuring tape, you must be specific. What you're going to use the measuring tape for? To measure the distance between the television and the person that's conducting the experiment. Okay? Elvis, you are changing. You are changing. Instead of using feet, you are using a measuring tape. I'm not adding, I'm changing. I'm not going to use feet anymore. I'm not going to use the footsteps anymore. I'm going to use the measuring tape. That's a change. Okay, Ken? Everyone all right? Okay, I'm going to move on. Let's consider a change also. You can change the, you cannot hear. Can you all hear? Can you all hear? Can, right? The capybara, then I think maybe something is wrong with your speaker. I can hear. Okay. Okay, so all right. So just remember, if you change any equipment, it's considered a change in an experiment also. Okay, Ken? Okay. So I'm gonna let's look at D, everybody. So Lisa sees a pattern in her results and she concludes that the remote control uses light to switch on the television. Okay, how did Lisa conclude from the data collected that the remote control requires light to work? Okay, so just now, right, some of you mentioned opaque. Now, here is where you step in. Okay, so how you know? So you must relate it back to her results. So let's look at the results first, okay? Okay, so what do you notice about the results? Can you identify which one totally does not allow light to pass through? Totally. Okay, book. And one more. Aluminium foil. Very good. So you can see from the results. Okay, and you should know that aluminium foil and book, they are opaque. No light can pass through at all. Good, good. But what about, okay, now let me ask you all. Then what about tracing paper? Tracing paper allows what? No, some or most light to pass through. A little bit, very good. Some of you mentioned a little bit, some of you mentioned translucent, some light can pass through, very good. So what else? There's one more that allows some light to pass through. You all know? No, not most. Tracing paper, if most light can pass through means you put your face behind the tracing paper, people can see your face. No, people just see the outline of your head only, cannot see your face if you put your face behind tracing paper. Good, foolscap as well, right? Foolscap, okay, allows some light to pass through. Okay, the one that allows most light to pass through is your clear plastic bag. Very good. Okay, so and based on that, you can see from your results, most light can pass through, the person can go very far, and the remote can work. All right, but for some light, can pass through only a certain distance, and if it's opaque, it cannot even work when it's very near. Okay, so good. So based on you still cannot hear. Okay, I try muting and unmuting first. Okay. Hello, can you all hear me? I tried muting and unmuting. Can? Okay. So everybody, okay, I moved to the question, okay? So basically, how did Lisa conclude from the data that it requires light to do work? Okay, you must mention about the transparency of the different materials, okay? But you don't need to go in like so detailed and mention each and every material. You can just say only when objects that allow some or most light to pass through are used, comma, then the remote control can work. Okay, everyone, okay? I'm gonna highlight the key things. So you must mention that allow some or most light to pass through, then the remote control can work. How is it misleading? They give you a clue here already. They already say she noticed that it requires light to switch on. So all you have to do is to remember your P4 topic, look at the objects and think about the transparency. Then yeah, there's nothing misleading about this. They never say that she's wrong. They say that she's correct. How can she conclude it? Carry on again. So always remember to take note of keywords. The keywords provides hints about what you're supposed to use, what concepts you're supposed to use when you're answering questions. Okay, Ken? Isaac W, this is P6, not secondary school, so don't need to mention about infrared or visible light. They already gave, that's why they gave you a clue, that because it's primary school. If not, they wouldn't have mentioned anything. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. Okay, so everyone, all right? Okay, so let's look at the next one. Next one is about your food chain. Okay, so everybody, okay, so let's look at your food chain over here. So for quiz 6A, I think y'all can tell me, if the whole population of O is cute, would the population of L and P increase or decrease? Tell me about L first. What do y'all think? I've seen, okay, those of you who write decrease, you're talking about L or P? Okay. All right, so the correct answer, yes, most of you got it correct. L is supposed to increase, P is supposed to decrease. Okay, but let me explain why. Okay, so L was supposed to increase is because if the population of O is cute, okay, that means it's entirely eliminated. Okay, what happened is there will be no consumers for L. Why? Because you can see from this arrow, okay, that L is eaten up by O. Okay, so what happens here is there is no consumers for L. So when there's no more organisms consuming L, they can survive better, they will increase. Very good. Thank you, Foxy. Thank you, Jarek. Those of you who send in your answers, thank you. Okay, and for population P, why is it decreased? Is that because there is no more food, which is because O is actually the food for P, and it's the only food for P, so P will decrease. Okay, I'm very sure you all know this. Okay, so I'm going to move on, okay, for 6A, quite straightforward. Okay, then who? What is happening? Oh, I cannot pen. Oh no. Okay, you just focus on the life, okay? So for B, okay, B, based on the information in the food chain above, what would happen to the population size of organism L after several years, and explain why? Okay, so if, what do you think? What do you think will happen? Not sure. I'm not sure. It is adapted from a school paper. You must ask that school. I also don't remember which school is it. Does anyone know why? What will happen? Can you tell me what will happen to the size of organism L after several years? That several years means eventually. Eventually. After a long time. What do you think will happen? It will start anywhere. Okay, L will decrease. You got the idea there. L will decrease. Okay, but why? Take note. Okay, I highlight the key thing here, okay? A pollution caused population P to decrease. I erase this part first, okay? Pollution caused P to decrease. Why? Step by step, step by step. Oh, why competition? Okay, everybody, this is a separate one, okay? A is if the whole population O is killed. Okay, now revert back. Go back to its original food chain. If, okay, the pollution caused P to decrease. So when P decrease, what happens? There will be talk about O. Very good, Iris. O would increase. Why? Because there is lesser predator. Less predator of O. Okay, very good. So when O increase, what will happen next? What will happen to L? Kitty. Okay, very good. So when O increase, there would be more consumers, right? Okay, so this will lead to a decrease in L. Okay, why? Okay, you must be very careful. If the question say if, right, means you only think about it in this question. A, part A, they say if O is killed. But now part B, right, is for this question, for if they use if, they need to separate it out already. Revert back to its original chain. Okay, can? Alright, so for this, I think that's why y'all got confused. Yes, good. So O, oh no. Because here they put the word if and it's under part A. So you don't join them together, okay, for this one. Okay, so for this, when they call you to explain why, 2 marks, okay? You must always describe the food relationship. Wait, food relationship means you must mention words like prey, predator, okay, or consumers. And then after that, you talk about your science concept, which is the population. What happens to the population of the organisms? So most of you got the idea there. Very good. Everybody. Okay, most of you got the idea there. So, but you must know how to explain step by step. Talk about how P affects O first. Then how did O affects L? Okay, so let's write this one down. You must say that the population of L will decrease. Answer the first question first, okay? Okay, then you explain. All right, so you can say that when population of P decreases, comma, there would be less predator P to feed on O. This is the food relationship, okay? Causing O to decrease. Sorry, increase. Okay, let me put the full stop first. Then the next sentence, next relationship. Who want to eat each other? Please don't do that. There will be more consumers feeding on L. So more L will be eaten and the population of L will decrease. Okay? We are considered the apex predator. Yes. Okay, I'm going to highlight the key thing. Decrease, P decrease, less predator. So O increase. When O increase, there'll be more consumers feeding on L. So population of L will decrease. Okay? Oh, Kuromi, must be step by step. So always start from the one that's affected. Now P decrease, right? Then you must explain the first one. How did P affect O? So this is until here. Until this blue color line to show how P affect O. Then O will affect L. Do not jump, okay? Do not jump from P all the way to L. Like that, you're not explaining step by step. Okay? Everyone okay? I'm going to move on. Okay. So let's move on. Answer what? Answer what? Apex predator doesn't mean, because bears are also considered apex predators. So apex predators sometimes might fight each other, right? Like lions and tigers. So only apex predators can attack another apex predator. So city kitty bears are considered one of the apex predators as well. Yeah, I'm gonna move on. Yeah, like lions and tigers, they fight. Sometimes they fight for food, especially when there's a lack of food. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Wait, almost done. Last part there is Kahoot. Yes. So over here, the diagram below shows organism L and M, and they mention that organism L is white, M is black. So organism M and L frequently rest on tree barks, and they said that the bark was light in color. Someone asked for adaptations, right? This is very closely related to adaptation. So, which organism do you think? But this one, adaptation, right? Just think logically. Which organism will survive better in town, Zach? And explain your answer. Which one do you think? Why else? If you dare to fight the bears for food, you can go ahead. Why are you talking about moon is not light? Okay. Let's not put. Okay, do you all know which one do you think will survive better, L or M? You think it's L? Yes. Be confident with your answers. Don't worry. Very good. Those of you who write L, you all got it correct. It is L, organism L. But we need to explain, okay? So explain your answer. So when you're explaining your answer, when it comes to this type of question, okay, you always remember, in order to survive better, you must be able to hide from predators. Okay, hide from predators. So you need to explain. Remember in AGrader, explanation, 2 steps answering technique. A lot of you straight away say that moon is not a light source. Yeah, moon is not a light source, everybody. Yeah, City Kitty, you're not wrong. Moon is not a light source. Why? Why are you suddenly talking about moon? Okay. So explain, describe. Okay, a lot of you jump to the science concept. You all mentioned the word camouflage. So you must compare the colors first. Okay, how do you know why it can camouflage? Describe the color first, then you all talk about camouflage. 2 steps. If not, you all will lose marks. High chance of losing marks. Okay, so you all be careful. Camouflage is a type of adaptation. Wait, let me write down, okay? Camouflage. Okay? Then, when it comes to adaptation, relate it to survival. Okay, so let's write this one down. We need to say that L's body color is similar to the tree trunk in town Z. Okay? So then your science concept, describe, then science concept, allowing them to camouflage better. Must always compare, okay? When you choose one over the other, you must compare. Better than M. Preventing them from being spotted by predators and ensuring a higher chance of survival. Okay? Yes. Okay, I'm highlighting the key things. Preventing them from being spotted by predators, higher chance of survival. Blend in, blend with the tree trunk, can. It's either you write camouflage better than M or can blend in to the tree trunk better than M. But must compare, must compare because you chose one over the other. Okay? Ambushing prey also can, but that one when ambushing prey also not wrong, but usually insects don't really, yeah, more predators than prey, unfortunately. But if you write that, as long as it's logical, you will not get marked wrong when it comes to adaptation. Okay, Ken? Do I go through PSLE questions? For now, it's random questions from school papers, but we pick them out, like pick those more difficult ones. PSLE, maybe nearer to PSLE, then we go through. If not enough PSLE to go through every 2 weeks, almost every week. Okay. Yeah, maybe for PSLE question is most likely nearer to to PSLE. Then we'll go through. Okay, everyone. Okay, I'm gonna start the Kahoot soon. You all need to. I saw someone say wait, so I will. Do you all need more time? I'm gonna start the Kahoot soon. Okay, who needs more time? Do you all need more time? Or do you all got any questions? Oh, you still copying? Okay. I'll wait a while more. Food chain and food web, is it a topic alone? Yes, Ethan. Food chain food web is a single topic by itself, but Ethan, it is like quite related to other topics as well. It is related to energy transfer in a way. Yeah, there's actually a lot of topics that's related to one another, so you must be careful. Like living together in an environment, living together is related to man's impact. Then adaptation, can be related to men's impact also. So a lot of linked topics. Food chain, I think Kuromi, you haven't learned food chain and food web yet. Most schools should be done with food chain and food web. Personally, I actually think that food chain and food web is actually the easier topics for P6. And because it's easy, right? During PSLE, very little questions will come out from it. Unfortunately. Okay. Okay, I'm going to no more. I'm gonna start with the Kahoot. So just to let you all know. Okay, so just let you all know, okay? So we have online classes for P5 and P6 for English, Math, Science, and Creative Writing right on top. Okay, Secondary 1 and 2 Math as well. Okay, so I'll be teaching the P6 Science online classes. All right, so I am going to show you the giveaway instructions. So please take note of this. Okay, I show you first, okay? Okay, so everybody take a photo, right? And take take your phone and take a photo of these instructions, okay? So after you join the Kahoot, okay, if you are first, second, or third place, please take a screenshot. Your screenshot will show you whether you get first, second, or third. Take a screenshot of the results. Then after that, DM us on our TikTok handle at AGrader LC. Okay, or send it to the phone number above. Take a photo of the phone number. Okay? Okay? Oh, hello, Cindy. Okay, now I'm gonna start. Let me share the TikTok, the Kahoot first. Okay. Those of you who want to take a photo, you all go ahead and take a photo of the instructions. Okay. Okay, let me share my Kahoot with you all. Okay, you all can yeah. Let me close the giveaway instructions, okay? Okay, those of you who want to join, you all can key the pin on your Kahoot website. Okay, I will write down the pin here through the chat. Okay, I'll key the pin through the chat. This is the Kahoot pin. The gift is random. It ranges between like stationaries, blind boxes. It's random. Okay, I'm going to. Oh, you got both wallets, yeah. Is it Smiggle? I remember that they do this Smiggle stuff as well. Only MCQ. Kahoot is mainly MCQ. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I cannot wait too long. So I will start the Kahoot. If you are joining, you can join through the code halfway. Okay? Okay? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start, okay? Huh? How since when I have a pet? Why is my name there? Okay. So, okay. Okay, I'm gonna start. 3, 2, 1. About 8. MCQ. Start. Okay, those of you who want to join, you can still join through the code that I send through the chat. Okay. All the best. The rest of you, I send again the code. Hey, this one easy. Okay. Hey, who said the seed? Animals, Hey, the person, hi. And okay, the first stage is an egg. Okay. So loud. The Kahoot music is loud. Okay, then I lower the Kahoot music if, okay, I think, I don't know whether I can. Wait, let me try, okay? I lower a bit. Okay. Okay, and next. Who is the dot, dot, dot? These are easy questions, okay? Wow, all correct. This one, see fastest fingers already. Very good. The correct answer is true. Okay, photosynthesis is the process where plants make food. Wow, Foxy, your fingers so fast. Okay. Okay. Vapor. Water become vapor. What is it? So hard. Water become vapor. What is it? 你放错. Oh no. Hey! Water become vapor. Vapor is a gas. Water is a liquid. Liquid to gas is evaporation. Oh no. What happened? Okay, Cindy, YS, Jin Hong. Okay. Huh. Do you remember what is renewable source? Those that's learning, those who learn living together. Hey, hello Melinda. Oh no, you just joined? I finished going through all the questions already. Renewable means that it will not, like, it's very difficult for it to run out. You know, y'all play like games, right? Like PlayStation Plus, a Nintendo Switch subscription. You have to renew, like pay and renew every month, right? That's what it means by renewable. You can get it again and again. Okay? This is under living together. Okay, most of you got it correct anyway. Let's go. Okay. Wow, this one don't tell me don't know, huh? Yeah, random guy. Are you trying? That is very cap. Ethan, that is very cap too. Most of you got it correct. Yes, it's respiration. Taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. The process, respiration is... Yes, it does it. So cheeky. Purposely guess wrong. You random guy. Hey, most of you got it correct. Hey, who is the person? Random guy. Are you the one that choose red? Remember, decomposers breaks down dead organisms into nutrients, into simpler substances. Okay? So hard, capybara, what happened? This is about your forces. Very good. When a spring is stiffer, that means harder, right, to press, means that when you release it, when you manage to press it and you release it, you also produce a harder force, a greater elastic spring force. Okay? Farron, Elwin, and Iris. Okay. Second last question. Cannot read the question properly. Cannot. Cannot, ah. Cannot be found. Why you say no? Yes, cannot be found in the back of rubber bands. Remember, it must be stretched or compressed. Okay. No. Iris, Elvin, and Farron. Last question. True or false? This one is easy. Tap him. Fastest fingers. Okay, take note. Energy and force are two different things. Okay, potential energy is something that is stored. A force is something that is exerted, that's applied onto an object. Okay. The podium, take a screenshot. If you are the top 3, Baran is 3rd place. 2nd place goes to Tomato. 1st place, Capybara didn't get 1st place this time. It's Iris. Don't worry, next time they will have Kahoot again. Okay, and a gentle reminder, next live is tomorrow. Primary 5 science. So those of you who are P6, you can watch also. Okay, can? Why unfair? What? No, 7 p.m. Tomorrow 7 p.m. is written on top. Okay, so take a screenshot, okay? Mayun, the Kahoot just over. Oh, you asked me to Kahoot. When is the next? Oh, you mean next Kahoot? Next week already. Next week. Thursday also have Thursday, but Thursday is another subject. Okay, tomorrow you will know Thursday is what. You can go to our Instagram also. They actually list down like this week what is what subjects and what level. Okay, there would be for this week. Okay, can? WL, partially is speed. Kahoot is you must be correct and you must be fast, unfortunately. Okay, then if you have no more question, what the podium or your own one? Just screenshot your rank, screenshot. Your one should put 1st place, right? Screenshot. Just like screen. Don't know how to tell you. Take photo of your screen. Okay, can? Which one do you take? The photo of your one, your device, shown on your device, not my screen. Don't take photo on mine. On your device, you take that photo shown on your device. Okay, can? Okay. Then I will see you all 2 weeks later. Okay, for P6 science. 2 weeks later, okay? Bye. See you. What is the renewable source of? Renewable source is solar energy. Solar means sun. Okay, that will not run out. The rest will run out easily. Okay? See you. Oh, I only conduct P6 science. Next week is other like subjects also, because you have to share between English, creative, math, secondary school math also. Okay? Okay, see you. Run out means like poof, no more. Okay, bye-bye. See you, bye-bye. Other subjects, depending on different weeks, different subject will have Kahoot. So you all can go to our Instagram. Instagram will always will announce as the post. Okay, go to our Instagram and check AGrader Instagram. Run out of the classroom. No, it does. Okay, I'll end the live already, okay? I'll see you 2 weeks later. Bye-bye. Capybara, don't fight people on TikTok. Bye-bye.